An all-party campaign has kicked off today over Congleton not having a recycling centre. And we've got Paul with us.
Hi Stuart. Hi, I'm good, Stuart. How are you doing? Yeah.
Not so bad. You've been one of the people behind this campaign, haven't you?
Yeah, I think as soon as they announced it, almost 2 years ago now, when they announced it, they were going to, not renew the lease, or the final decision for this site was, very negative. I started a petition to really sort of try and make people aware of what was going on, get people a voice to start, registering their dismay at really what was going on, because we knew that even though they were talking about consultations or no decisions being made yet, we knew deep down that this site was it was coming to an end. And so it's important, really important, that Congleton has a recycling facility of some sort. So I started the petition, got currently 3,550 signatures on there. We have other different types of petitions we're going to be talking to in a minute, but it was a real success as far as petitions go. It's really successful, and we feel there's a real enthusiasm online and just talking to people about registering their interests so that we do have a recycling site within the Congleton area. So we are this Thursday going to present those petitions, because it's now the right time to wrap them all up and present them to Cheshire East and get them to listen to the voices of the people of Congleton.
And when is that happening? It's going to be, is it Thursday?
Thursday we're going to submit the petitions. So we're going to go to Westfields to submit them. There's actually a petitions officer, so if anybody has a petition for any other reason, there's actually Cheshire East have a petitions officer. So we're going to submit that and get that next step of the process, where everybody that's taken the time out, and I want to thank everybody for taking the time out, that has registered their annoyance at the fact that Cheshire East are have closed the recycling, and we don't have a recycling site, that is now going towards Cheshire East, and they're going to have to listen to the numbers that have gone through.
That's great, thanks for talking to us. And now we're with Jackie.
Congleton Climate Action Group, which is part of Friends of the Earth, and we have done a petition to support the campaign for a new household waste and recycling site for Congleton, because part of our main message is to reduce and reuse and not throw away, and Congleton can't do that. We cannot help the climate emergency unless we're given the facilities to do it. Yeah. And going to Macclesfield is ridiculous. I have been twice. Once I was sat there for 40 minutes waiting to get into the turning.
I believe that some people, is it Alsager they go as well?
Yes, they do, and some people even go over the border to Biddulph.
That far over the border, it makes it sound like foreign.
Well, it's a different authority, isn't it? But
yeah, and they shouldn't be doing that, should they?
They shouldn't be doing that, no.
Yeah.
So yes, we need Cheshire East Council to provide us with the services that we're actually paying for and need. Thanks
a lot for talking to us, Jackie. And now we're talking to Leslie. How are you, Leslie?
Hi, I'm new to the area and I wasn't aware of all of the shenanigans that had been going on when the tip actually closed the first time. But it obviously seemed really important to me that we have a tip close by, and Macclesfield seems just so far away when Tesco's is right next door to where this one was, and we were just dropping things off like small items of electrical goods you could just drop in without any impact on your carbon footprint. And we can't do that now. It's an awful long way to go when old people without car or ability to take anything like that, they have to ask their neighbours, and they can't ask them to put in the time and money to get as far as Macclesfield. When I did my research, I discovered that the guidance in their own report was that we should have a recycling centre within 5 miles, and the vast majority of Congleton isn't served by a waste centre within 5 miles. So it's outrageous that we had it closed. So I started a petition, and the only way that I knew how was to go around getting people to sign bits of paper. And there's a lot of people in Congleton who couldn't possibly cope with an online petition, so I'm glad I've served their purpose and met an awful lot of people who've got a lot of aggravation. gathering stuff in their gardens they can't get rid of, neighbours who are frustrated, people in the charity shops are saying they're overwhelmed with complete rubbish because people can't take it to the tip anymore. Tesco's was frustrated because their car park's being inundated with bits left behind. I've spoke to a lot of people and there's a lot of concern about it.
Well, thanks a lot for talking to Congleton Radio today. And now we've got Councillor Robert Douglas with us. How are you, Robert?
Very well, and thanks very much, Stuart and Shan, for coming out for our little photo shoot, which we're going to publicise because we are handing over 3 petitions with almost 6,000 signatures to Cheshire East, and I would like to thank Cheshire East for telling us that they are going to accept them just before 10:30 on Thursday, the 2nd of February, when they have their Environment and Communities Committee. And the fact that we've got almost 6,000 signatures, first of all, I'd like to thank the 3 petitioners, my colleague Paul Duffy, and many thanks to Leslie Turner. Also, of course, Jackie Kay of the Congleton Climate Action Group. And by getting these 3 petitions together with almost 6,000 signatures, it shows the strength of feeling of our residents in Congleton and the surrounding areas. It is, of course, ridiculous that an area the size of Congleton and the surrounding areas with about 35,000 people and a population that's growing, not have a recycling site, and as you can appreciate, they're being asked to travel very long distances, which a lot of people are not doing, and we've seen shocking figures of increasing of fly tipping, and it's just not part of the Congleton climate action fight to improve the climate in this time of climate crisis.
Well, thanks a lot. Now we've got Olga Whitmore. Olga, you're a fan of recycling centres, aren't you?
Well, I will never disappoint you, Stuart. While I'm here, everybody here came here to show their support for the new recycling centre. I came here to show you and to address my message to Cheshire East leader Sam Conqueran, who voted against recycling centre. I must tell you one thing. We live in a very, very high consumer society where we consume quite a lot. And a lot of it we can't use, reuse, or whatever. So we having new recycling center, modern one, where you can recycle everything, or majority of stuff, like 95% at least, is a must. So the fact that we don't have it is just really bad. Look at my hat, look at me. These wires you can't take to anywhere. You can't put them in a black bin because it's illegal. And what do? Am I supposed to drive to where? Your nearest alternative site, Macclesfield, SK11. To recycle this electronic waste, a few wires, like you could see it here, I just collected them because, one day I'll ask somebody. I need to go to Macclesfield, SK11 9QP, Alsager ST7 2SJ. And here is a sample of these things which I collected in my house. These are the things I can't put in my bin, and I can't invite a person to come for a few items. This is metal and plastic. This is also I can't put it in a bin. Nothing like that I can't put it in a bin. And batteries and this old pot. So everything here could be brought to the Home Waste Recycling Centre, a modern facility where you can recycle batteries, where you can recycle electronic waste. I'm particularly concerned about electronic waste. That's electronic waste. So I use that as much as I possibly can. Please show it. It's no longer functioning. You try to do it because right now it's a big war in the world for those people who own rare metals. And rare metals is like lithium, palladium. Stuart, do you know anything about rare metals?
I know that they're struggling to get components for computers and phones because of, like you say, metals being rare.
Yeah, and all these things are either fly-tipped, and that's why I created a poster. New tip, not fly-tip. Or, even worse, it is going to the landfill. All these valuable materials, which I now have to dismantle and show you that everything everything here. I can't possibly recycle. I don't have a car, that's for a start, but even if I had a car, would I go miles away? How environmentally friendly will be my visit to one of these sites? So from that point of view, I'm really disappointed in Cheshire East. For our own council, we pay our own tax and we don't have essential service. I just want to tell you, this is essential service. This is not a frill.
Well, thanks for talking to us today, Olga. Congleton Radio appreciates it.
Thank you for having me.